We're just waiting for a few more participants to join in. We shall be beginning in the next 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the webinar. Um, Today's webinar is all about health and wellness, and we will be taking you through um, uh, the Healthify app as well as a couple of sessions on immunity as well as mental wellness. Uh, Before we start, this is the fourth webinar that we're doing for health and wellness, and it's been well attended for the last 3 times. Um, we're doing this one on a Sunday since we got a lot of requests from people saying that they're busy on the weekdays and so on. So I hope we have big numbers joining today. Uh, we have with us Mr. Tripathi, who's leading the BRS program from the bank side. We'll start off the session by having Mr. Tripathi say a few words, and then we'll get on to the rest of the session. Tripathi sir, would you like to?
Good morning, Rising Stars. Mr. Aditya, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Aditya, Mr. Pratik, and the team members from Deloitte and Healthify MIAF. This webinar is on health and wellness, as Mr. Aditya told, and we are conducting this on International Yoga Day. This is really great. As Mr. Aditya told, originally we planned for only 3 webinars. But we received a request from some of the participants, and this being a very important program, we thought of do one more on a holiday, so there more participants can join in this program. So I request all of you that in future, please ensure that you should try to join the first and second webinar itself. The basic objective, as Mr. Aditya told, is to make you understand the features of this app and how to use it, so that you can take full benefits of this app. Besides, there will be a couple of sessions related to your immunity and other health aspects, which is quite relevant at this present scenario. This Healthify Me app is user friendly, and I'm sure it is going to make a lot of impact on you. It will help you to keep track of your health and fitness on daily basis. In this literacy program, we have given special weightage on health and wellness. It is a fact that we bankers always ignore our own health, maybe due to work pressure or other challenges, and not taking of our health ultimately impact our efficiency and the productivity. In this current scenario of COVID, focusing on our health and wellness is become a priority. Keeping a view of this series of health sessions has been organized for you all. One more thing I would like to add is that due to the present COVID scenario, the bank has decided to modify this leadership journey such that it will be delivered in digital mode. Even we sent one mail to all of you a few days back in this regard. But I can assure you that there will not be any deviation from the original design, except that it will be done digitally. There will be as interactive as originally planned. I request you all to ensure full participation in the program. This program has been designed after a lot of discussion with top management and a team of Deloitte. The Deloitte team also putting a lot of time and efforts to make it successful. We have been authorizing our top management, including MD and EDs, on fortnight basis about the development in this program. We are also closely monitoring the individual progress of each of the participants. This program is for your own development, so I request you all to attend with all seriousness. If you have any query, any suggestions, I request you to please send mail at brsp@bankofbaroda.com. Thank you all. Over to Mr. Aditya.
Thank you, sir. Slipped my mind also that it was yoga day. Right. So let's go on to the agenda of the session. As Tripathi sir said, health and wellness is very important, and it's a very critical component to making sure that we are in a state to perform our duties as well as to excel at what we do. Right. So today's session is going to be divided into three parts. We're going to start off with an introduction to Healthify Me. Healthify Me, as all of you know, you've seen it at the kickoff, is a cutting edge app. It's one of the market leaders in India for health and wellness. We have we will have someone from Healthify Me walk you through how to install and how to use this app. In case there are any problems in using the app, we will also share the deck with you later. We've also shared some videos with you on how to log into the app, and we will also have a help desk open for you over the next couple of days to make sure that all of you are on the app. Getting on the app is very important, also because we have a health challenge coming up, and that has a fixed start date. So if you're not on the app, you're going to lose some points, and then you might not be able to catch up. So I sincerely request all of you to follow along with what we're doing today in terms of installing the app, and just make sure that you get on the app. And if there's any problem, to get in touch with us so that we can resolve it in the next couple of days. Okay, so that's the first bit around getting on the app. Very, very important. Please make sure you do that. The second thing we're going to do is to talk in a fair bit of detail about immunity, because that is something that is very relevant in today's day and age, particularly with COVID-19 all over the place. So we're going to give you some simple, easy to follow tips and tricks to enhance your immunity. And finally, mental well-being is increasingly getting more and more important, particularly as we work. We obviously, all of us already have stressful jobs. On top of that, there's a pandemic. On top of that, some of you might be working from home a lot more than you usually do. So there are a lot of additional factors that cause a lot of stress and cause a lot of potential mental health issues. So we'll be talking to you a little bit about how to be mindful and how to be conscious of your well-being. And again, we'll be giving you some tips and tricks to make sure that you can start implementing this pretty much immediately, right? So those are the three sections. After each of these sections, we will have some Q&A. So if there are any questions, feel free to ask. Let's start off with the first section, which is the introduction to Healthify Me. So we have three people from Healthify Me with us today. So Rishika will be taking us through how to use the app. Abha will be talking to us about immunity, and Tanmay will be talking to us about mental well-being. Right. So let's go on. I'll invite Rishika to come on board and explain how to use the app and a general introduction to the features of Healthify.
Thank you so much, Mr. Aditya. And a big thank you to the Deloitte team and the Bank of Baroda team for giving me this opportunity. Good evening, rising stars. My name is Rishika, and I'm from the Healthify Me team. I'll be taking you through this first session and explaining to you the different benefits of Healthify Me and how to use it. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat box, and I'll answer all the questions at the end of the session. Next slide, please. Healthify Me is India's best digital fitness and wellness app. And we bring to you a holistic set of wellness experiences. Now, these wellness experiences are divided into 4 parts. So the first part is the Healthify Me app. The app personalizes according to your lifestyle goals, and it keeps track of your food. It keeps track of your water, hydration, your calories, and your overall health, and it helps you achieve your fitness or your wellness goals. The second part of the wellness experience is the BRSP Health Challenge. As I'm speaking, all of y'all can download the Healthify Me app from your iOS store or your Play Store. And as I'll take you along through the sign up process, you all can sign up and experience the different features of it. The BRSP Health Challenge is especially brought to the Baroda Rising Stars, and it's a gamified health journey that you'll undertake by competing with your colleagues. So you'll be given tasks every day. Each week will have a separate fitness theme. There could be a hydration week or a nutrition week, and you'll have tasks according to the theme of the week. And as you complete these tasks, you'll be able to earn points and move up the leaderboard and compete with your colleagues. The third part is called RIA. It's an AI-based nutritionist. So RIA is the world's first AI-based nutritionist, and you can chat with RIA 24/7, anytime, anywhere. The fourth and the most important part of this wellness experience is the 1:1 health coaching. So you'll be given access to personalized health coaching, and you'll be able to book consultation calls with either a nutritionist, a yoga trainer, or a fitness coach, and you'll get personalized diet or workout plans. I'll take you through each of these sections in detail as we go forward, and you can open the Healthify Me app that you've downloaded, and I'll show you the sign-up process. Before that, let's get to know a little more about the Healthify Me app. So Healthify Me is a mobile health and fitness app. It has over 16 million downloads, and using this app, you can set your fitness goals. Your fitness goals could be to lose weight, to gain muscle, or anything else. And you can track your calories that you've eaten. You can track the calories that you've burned, and you can meet your hydration goals and stay hydrated throughout the day. And you can also track your calories and your steps. So we've also introduced some features that are relevant to the current COVID situation. You can track the number of times you washed or sanitized your hands. You can also set reminders on the app to keep reminding you throughout the day to keep washing your hands. This is a snapshot of the basic features that Healthify Me provides. And these features will be accessible to anybody who downloads the app. So this is the free version of the app. But for the Baroda Rising Stars, we've come up with a premium version of the app. And to access the premium version of the app, there is a separate way to log in and access these premium features. So I'll take you through the sign-up process to access these features. Can we have the next slide, please? So the first step is to download the Healthify Me app. Healthify Me is available on the Apple Store as well as the Google Play Store. And you can see the red icon here highlighted. That is how the app looks, the app icon. And you can download the app, open it up, and click on Get Started. Once you click on Get Started, you can see a sign up page. So the first thing the app asks you is to enter your phone number. Please do not do this because this will take you to the consumer version of the app, which is the free version of the app. Do not click on any of the sign in with Google or Facebook or email options. You have to click on the corporate user tab. You can see it highlighted in red over here. So you can click the corporate user tab, and there's a page that will open up where you'll be asked to enter your email ID, your password, and your EC number or employee ID. Now you have to be very careful with the email ID that you've entered. I'm sure all of you all have received an email ID that you have to enter into this app. Please refer to that and only enter that email ID. You can enter your password. You can enter your password and enter your employee number and click on sign up. Next page, please. Now the first screen that you'll be able to see is the app asking you to set your primary goal. Now there are different goals like lose weight or to be fitter or to gain muscle or to run better. So for convenience sake, I've chosen lose weight here. And after clicking on lose weight, you will be able to see the BRSP Health Challenge page. So this is how you know that you've entered into the right feature or right app, because you'll be able to see a customized version of it, and you can be assured that this is the right version that you've entered. You can click on continue, and the app will ask you to fill in your zone. So it says city here, but what you actually have to fill in is your zone. So I'm sure you know which zone you fall under. You can select the zone and click on join challenge. When you click on join challenge, the app asks you for your basic details. Now it tries to get to know you because we're technology based. We use artificial intelligence to customize the app according to the person who's using it. Now you can enter your basic details such as your name, your gender, your phone number, your age, your weight and height, and you can enter your occupation as well. There is banking. There is an option to enter banking services as well in the occupation tab. You can enter that. And once you move down, it asks you to enter your daily activity level. So if you have a sedentary lifestyle, you can click on sedentary. If you say work out for 1 or 2 days in a week, you can click on lightly active. And if you're really into fitness and work out very regularly, you can choose that option as well. And then it asks you for your medical conditions. So there are various medical conditions that you can choose from. Please, if you have any medical condition, make sure that you enter it. If you have nothing, click on none. And you can enter your city into the app and click on the next button. It shows you a page where your BMI is displayed. So here the BMI is 30.9, which clearly falls under the overweight category. And it shows you your ideal weight range that you're supposed to be in. Here it is 48 to 58 kgs for this person. So you can set your target weight according to the ideal range that you have to fall under. So here I've set it to 53 kgs, and it will ask you how quickly you want to lose this weight. For example, here it's 26 kgs. There are multiple options. You can choose easy, medium, or difficult. And it will show you the amount of time you need to lose this weight. Here it says you will reach your goal before 12 months and 4 days. And after doing so, you can click on I commit to my goal. And then it will take you to the next page where your calorie budget is displayed. So it will display the time that you will require to lose this weight and give you a calorie budget for the day. If you click on the plus icon below, it will lead you to a page. It will open up a bar that gives a breakup of these 1800 calories. So these 1800 calories have been distributed over 5 meals. It's always better to have 5 smaller meals throughout the day than to have 3 big meals. So that's how the app divides the calories. And let's see how we can track our first meal. Let's click on the plus icon beside breakfast, and it will lead us to a page where you can type in what breakfast you had. So I typed in poha, and it will give you several options. You can see that there's veg poha, there is aloo poha. So you can choose whatever you've had and click on the plus icon beside it to add that item into your app. Once you've done that, it will take you to a page which shows you that you consume 196 calories out of your entire budget. So you can see here that breakfast has been tracked. Now there is a tab called the Insights tab. Let's see what this tab does. Once you click on the Insights tab, it opens up and it gives you the distribution of your PFCFs, that is your proteins, fats, carbs, and fiber content. So you can see here that you consume 23% of your carbohydrate budget today. And through the Insights app, you can also see what micronutrients you've had. Like here it says, it gives you the calcium quantity, the iron quantity, and your budget for the day. Considering the whole COVID situation, there are some micronutrients that are very important to you, such as zinc or vitamin C. So you can track and see how much of that vitamin you have consumed. After this, you can click on the back button in the top left corner, and it will give you a congratulations page saying that it will congratulate you for tracking your first meal. Now you can click on got it, and it will lead you to the next page, that is the home screen. So this is your home screen. It gives you a snapshot of the amount of calories you've eaten, and there are several trackers also on it. Let's explore these trackers. You can see a tracker called 0 out of 10 glasses consumed. Click on that and you will unlock water tracking. So it will allow you to track the number of glasses that you had that day. I've tracked 3 glasses, and let's click on done. And before that, there is another option also to set a reminder. So often we forget to drink water during the day. We don't drink enough water. So you can set a reminder on your app, which will remind you once in every few hours to keep drinking water. And after this, you can click on done. And it will lead you back to your home page. Now, let's explore another tracker, which is Connect with a Smart Tracker. Now, this tracker is used to track your steps. Once we click on it, you'll see a screen that says steps tracking has been unlocked. Now it will lead you to a page that will give you several options to track, to sync your Healthify Me app with the different apps on your phone. So I'm sure that all of us here must be having access to a smartphone, and on every smartphone, there is this option to download free apps that track your number of steps that you take in a day. If you have an Android device, there is this app called Google Fit you can download, and it will automatically track your steps when you connect to it. If you have an iOS device, you will automatically have a health app which tracks your steps. You can connect that app to the Healthify Me app. And so basically the number of steps you take in a day will automatically be synced in the app, and it will show you the number of calories that you burnt by taking those steps. Now let's go back to the home screen again, and let's try to track our workout. Here, click on the 0 out of 379 calories burnt. It'll open up your workout tracking. So you can click on track workout, and it will open multiple options and give you some suggestions on what to track. The most frequent activities are walking, running, cycling. So it shows these by default. Now for convenience sake, let's click on walking. It will open up the next page, which asks you to enter how slowly or how fast you've done your walking. And then you can enter the number of kilometers for which you walked or the time duration for which you walked. And it automatically calculates the number of calories after you've entered all these details. Or if you don't want to enter all these details and you directly know how many calories you've burnt, you have an option to directly enter that as well. Now let's click on track, and it's showing that you've burned 123 calories out of 246 today. So it, along with the calorie budget, a calorie burning budget as well. So here it's 246 calories that you have to burn every day. So you can click on home. So these are the steps through which you can track your basic details onto the app. Now let's move on to the second part of the wellness program, which is the BRSP Health Challenge. Now the BRSP Health Challenge is a 12-week challenge. It's starting from the 29th of June and it will end on September 19th. So every week we'll have a new theme, which is maybe nutrition or fitness theme or a yoga theme. And every day you'll be given certain tasks. So through these tasks, if you complete them, you gain points. Now the challenge will start on the 29th of June. So people who join on the 29th of June will be able to collect more points than say people who join further on, because they'll miss out on those set of points and they'll fall back on the leaderboard. Now let's see how we can access this BRSP Health Challenge. Next, please. All right. So on the home page, you'll see a trophy icon that says BRSP 2020. And you can click on that to open up the BRSP challenge. Now you can click on, so you can see that there are different tasks that are given to you. For example, keep calm and torch fat. So that day's task is to burn that amount of fat. And once that is done, you'll accumulate points and you'll see a green tick, and the green tick indicates that you've burned, that you've completed that task. Now you can click on the second tab of this page, which is the leaderboard tab. Once you do that, you can see that you can see a banner that comes up, which is challenge begins in 13 days, 11 hours. That is basically the countdown timer for the challenge to begin. And the challenge begins on the 29th of June. And you can see your rank and how you compete against your colleagues. For example, here it says my rank is 1 in the West Zone and All India rank is also 1. So you can see where your rank is compared to all of your colleagues. And this way you'll be able to really have a healthy competition between your colleagues and participate in the challenge. The third part of the wellness challenge, which is RIA, which is the artificial intelligent bot. So basically, RIA is the first AI nutritionist that the world has ever seen. Ask RIA a lot of questions. You can ask RIA any health assistance if you have. And the best part is that RIA is available 24/7 and you can ask her anything. I'll show you how to access RIA. Can we go to the next slide? Okay, so on the home screen, you see a red button on the bottom right corner, right? So that is a button to access RIA. And once you click that button, several options open up. Now let's click on the option that says talk to RIA. Once you do that, another page opens up where you can ask RIA whatever questions you have. And these questions can be anything that around health and wellness and fitness or nutrition. For example, I can ask RIA to analyze my day. And once I do that, she'll analyze all the food that I've had throughout the day and give me suggestions. She can sometimes tell me that I've been having a lot of fats, a lot of carbohydrates in my meal, and to reduce them. So it's like you have a personal assistant who's telling you and giving you dietary suggestions. And RIA has some fantastic features as well. You can ask her to give you some meal suggestions. For example, you can ask her to choose between, you can ask her, what should I have, pizza or a pasta? And according to your day and your fiber, carbs content, it will tell you to go for that option. And you can also go to a restaurant and ask RIA to suggest something to eat, and she'll do that. And you can ask RIA to suggest some quick workouts or immunity tips or diet tips, and you can access all of this. It's a very interesting part of the application, and you can go and explore it. So moving on, we come to the most important and the best part of the wellness challenge, which is the 1:1 health coaching. Can we go to the next slide, please? So we are bringing to you personalized health coaching by either a nutritionist, a fitness trainer, or a yoga instructor. So in the app, you will be able to book consultation. You'll be able to choose a trainer, and they will handhold you through your fitness journey, and they will make sure that you are reaching your goals. Can we go to the next slide, please? So now let's see how to select the coach. You can go to the home screen of your app and you'll find a tab, coach tab. It's highlighted over here. Once you click on the coach tab, multiple options open up. You can select a diet coach, a fitness coach, or a yoga coach. So I suggest you to think through a little bit before selecting any coach, because you have to make sure that the coach that you select is aligned to your fitness goal. For example, if you want to lose a lot of weight fast and you want to lose it through rigorous cardio workouts, then maybe you should go for a fitness coach. Or if you want more flexibility that you want to inculcate into your life, you can go for a yoga coach. Or if you purely want to work on your diet, you can select and click on select a diet coach. Now I clicked on select a fitness coach to take an example. And once I do that, another page opens up and a coach is automatically suggested to you. For example, Prabal Pratap has automatically been suggested to me, and I can browse through his profile. I can see that he can speak in English and Hindi, and I can see his work timings that are from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And you can see his specializations are stamina and strength training and his qualifications. Now you will have two options. The first option is to choose the coach. And if you would like to pick another coach, you can click on pick another coach to see different coach profiles. And then another page opens up and you'll be given a lot of options to select your coach. So you can browse through this and you can see what languages they speak, what their qualifications are, and click on your choice. Now I've clicked on my choice and I've selected choose coach. And then another page opens up that asks you to book your call. Now you can see that I can see 4 days from now, and you can select whatever time slot you want for a 15-minute consultation call, and you can click on book a call, and then it will lead you to a page that shows that your call has been booked with the coach. Let us be very careful after we activate the coach tab, because if we don't select our coach within 24 hours, it's automatically assigned to us. So it's always better to browse through the profiles and select your coach accordingly. And so what will happen through this coach training is that these coaches will understand your lifestyle completely through the consultation call. They'll understand your food habits, your lifestyle habits, your work timing, and accordingly they'll draw up diet plans or workout plans or fitness plans, any of these plans which you'll be able to access through the app. And they'll be constantly monitoring you through the food that you do. So if you track your food, the food that you've had every day, the coach can go and view the amount of calories that you've been having. The coach can view your activity level. And if something is missing, or maybe the coach feels like you need to be helped more, they will initiate a consultation call with you and rectify that accordingly. Now, apart from booking 2 calls per month, you will also have an option to chat with your coach. And so you can chat with your coach for an unlimited amount of time. They have their working hours during which they reply, but you can stay in touch with them constantly and meet your fitness goals. So this is primarily what the Healthify Me app offers you. And we've reached the end of the session. If you would like to ask any questions, please put them in the chat box or raise your hand, and you'll be unmuted to ask your question.
Thank you so much for the session, Rishika. We have one question which has come up on the chat. It says, please suggest how to change the challenge option from reduce weight to any other.
Yes. So you'll have the option to change that. You can go to your profile in the app, and in your profile and account settings, you can select your goal. So go to the goal tab and you'll be able to change it according to whatever you want to change.
We have one hand from Mr. Dibya. Mr. Dibya, you've been unmuted. Please go ahead. Okay, sir, you can just post your question in the chat and we'll answer that for you. Mr. Aman Kumar, you've been unmuted. Please go ahead.
Good morning, everybody.
You're not audible,
Hello.
Mr. Raman.
Okay, can we change the coach in between, ma'am?
Mr. Aman, if you are unsatisfied with your coach experience, then you can change your coach. You can go to the chat option in the Healthify Me app in your account section, and you can raise a request to change your coach. So they will ask you for a reason, and after you've entered your reason, within 24 hours, they'll give you an option to choose another coach.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Rishika, we have one more question, which says, what is the BRSP 2020 challenge? How to participate?
Okay. So the BRSP challenge is meant only for the Baroda Rising Stars. So it takes you through the app through your fitness journey. For example, it gives you daily tasks that you have to do and achieve to progress in this challenge. Every day will have a new task. For example, today I might have a task to consume 9 glasses of water according to my body height and weight. So I'll have to consume 9 glasses of water and log it in. And after I've done that, I'll complete today's challenge and collect several points for it. Now, along with me, all my colleagues will also be getting similar tasks every day, and they will also be collecting these points. Now, through this, we try to inculcate healthy habit formation and healthy competition. So this is basically how the BRSP challenge works. And like I've shown you, you can access it through the trophy icon tab on your Healthify Me app.
Thanks, Rishika. We have another question. What input is to be selected in city at the time of joining challenge?
All right. So it says city, but it is actually asking for your zone. So I'm sure you know what zone you fall under. If you're from Mumbai, say you can select that your city is West Zone. So according to the zone, you can select and input your option.
Thank you so much, Rishika. We do not have any more questions in the chat or any other hands as of now. So we could end the question and session answer here. For all participants, if even at this point you do not have a question and have any other queries that come up when you actually try to register for the app, we've messaged helpline numbers over the WhatsApp group. These helpline numbers will be available to you throughout the next week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So please feel free to call on those numbers and get any doubts around how to register solved for yourselves. And we hope that can help. So thank you so much for the session, Rishika. We really hope most participants now have a very clear understanding of how to register to Healthify Me. And without any further delay, we'll move over to the next session. This is a session which is on building your immunity and will be taken by Ms. Abha Sardesai. Abha, over to you.
Thank you, Drashti. Good morning, everyone. I am Abha Sardesai, the Senior Nutritionist at Healthify Me. And today I will be taking you through the session on immunity building through nutrition during COVID-19. So can we go to the next screen, please? So first, let us understand what the immune system is. The immune system is basically the mechanism in the human body that is designed to fight any sort of disease. And it is very important for us to maintain our immunity well, so that, especially during these tough times. Next slide, please. So how does the immune system respond to a COVID attack? COVID is not different from any other virus attack or infection, and therefore our immune system has a predictable response to it. When the virus enters our body, it can be either through the nose, eyes, or mouth. It sticks to the cells present on the surface lining of our body. It sits there, multiplies there, and infects the adjoining cells as well. And that is why there is a lot of focus around maintaining hand hygiene and not touching your eyes or nose or mouth, especially while you're traveling. Now, once this virus sits and multiplies, it causes inflammation, that is redness and swelling of that particular region. And this further causes some fluid buildup in the lungs, leading to breathlessness, which is a classic symptom of COVID or any other viral infection. Next slide, please. There are various factors affecting our immune system. These are the 8 main contributors for a weakened immune system. We will run through them one by one. First is taking unnecessary stress. Stress causes an increase in the production of a hormone called as cortisol, and which suppresses the immune function. So taking a lot of stress or being too much stressed can weaken the immune system. The next is staying up till late. Sleep can increase the T cells in our body. T cells are basically the cells which fight infection. Okay, so if you stay up late, the T cells produced will be lesser in number. So good sleep will enhance the ability of the T cells to destroy the infecting cells and all other bacteria. So having a good night's sleep is very, very important, or else it might lead to weakened immunity. Then smoking or using any tobacco product, eating chemical laden food, alcohol consumption, all of this causes oxidation of the body cells, and which damages the cells through suppressing our immunity. So too much consumption of this might hamper the immune system. Then there is consuming white sugar. Now, sugars are of two types. Sugars found in fruits or other natural sources can give our body a little boost because it is paired with very great for our body nutrients like fiber or vitamins. But the other type of sugar, that is processed sugar or white sugar, tends to have a very terrible impact on our immunity. What white sugar does is it affects the way our white blood cells or T cells or the immunity cells attack bacteria, and it starts to suppress the immune function as soon as 30 minutes after consumption, and it lasts up to 5 hours. So having too much of refined or white sugars can have a very terrible impact on the immune system and can definitely weaken it. And then there is under or overdoing exercise. Now, physical activity or exercise helps flushing the bacteria out of the lungs and airways, and which will reduce our chance of getting COVID or flu and increases the immune cell production. But having said that, too much of exercise can worsen things as well. There have been researches which say that during intense physical activity, the body produces hormones that temporarily lower the immune system. So we definitely need to exercise for a particular time, say 20 to 30 minutes a day, so that our immunity is intact. But too much of exercise can also worsen things. Next slide, please. Now that we have gone through the factors that weaken the immune system, these are 6 classic signs which will tell you that you have a weakened immune system. The first one is frequent cold, cough, and fever. Next is poor exercise recovery, sleeping disorders, chronic fatigue, stress levels, and tummy issues like acidity, bloating, indigestion, etc. Next slide, please. Now that we know what immunity is, what are the factors affecting it, what are the signs that you understand you have a weakened immune system, let us focus on life hacks which will strengthen your immune system. These are 10 simple life hacks. We will go one by one. The first is get some sunlight. Basically, the first and foremost hack has to be eating a healthy diet, which is balanced in all the essential nutrients and is full of antioxidants. And the next in picture comes sunlight. Sunlight is a very good source of vitamin D, and vitamin D helps in the production of immune building cells. Now, if you are unable to step out of the house because of COVID, what you can do is you can include vitamin D rich foods in the diet, like dairy or dairy foods like milk, curd, buttermilk, or you can have egg yolks or fishes. These are some great vitamin D sources. Make sure to include them in your diet. Next is keeping yourself hydrated. Drinking enough water will ensure that your blood will carry plenty of oxygen to all the cells of our body. And it also helps in flushing out toxins from the body. So having a minimum of 3 liters of water every day is recommended. Next is ensure intake of supplements. Here we are talking about antioxidants because having a good number of antioxidants is very important for a strong immune system. We will discuss about this in detail in the coming slides. Next is set a sleep pattern. As we discussed earlier, lack of sleep can suppress the immune system. So 6 to 8 hours of sleep every day should be a good factor to boost the immune function. Next is building a nighttime hygiene routine. Basically, maintaining a proper hygiene and sanitation routine is extremely important to make sure that there is no new bacteria entering the body. Next hack is building movement in your day, which basically speaks about physical activity. As discussed earlier, physical activity improves the immune cell functions. So make sure to do physical activity daily for at least 25 to 30 minutes. And make sure that you do not overdo with exercise, otherwise it might also hamper the immune system. And indulging yourself into any activity of your choice. This can increase the production of happy hormones called as serotonin, which is going to improve your immune cell function. So basically, there has to be focus on holistic wellness. That is, along with eating a healthy diet and doing a good physical activity, focus on improving your mood and being in a happy mind space, which will definitely make sure that your immune system is boosted. The next slide, please. Now, these are some foods which are said to be boosting our immunity. We will cover them one by one. The first one is zinc. Zinc helps the immune system work properly, and it also helps in wound healing. And zinc can be found in foods like poultry, which chicken and eggs, seafood, meat, and whole grain products like wheat, jawar, bajra with the kernel. So focus on including whole grains and cereals in the diet. Beans are also a very good source of zinc. And then there are oil seeds like flax seeds, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, gingerly seeds, that is till. All of these have a fair amount of zinc in them. Make sure to include them regularly in your diet. The next is green tea. Green tea contains flavonoids that are believed to be extremely high in antioxidants, and which can give our bodies a much needed boost. Green tea is also a great mood booster. So if you're feeling stressed or fatigued, having a cup of green tea is a great solution to it, which will make sure that it boosts your immunity, and at the same time, it will make you feel good as well. Then having oil seeds regularly. They are a great source of healthy fats, vegetarian protein. It also has good amount of fiber and of course antioxidants in it. You can have a mixture of flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, poppy seeds, gingerly seeds. Have a mixture of it. And you can store it in a container and have about 2 to 3 teaspoons of this as a part of your evening snack every day. Then ginger. Ginger has been shown to have impressive antiviral activity since COVID is also a virus. Having ginger will make sure that it doesn't enter the body. And it can be taken in the form of tea. You can have ginger tea. You can have ginger with water. You can grate ginger into your salads. So make sure to include ginger in one or the other form every day in your diet. Then turmeric. Turmeric is one spice which is definitely present in every Indian household. It has got some great antioxidant properties, anti-inflammatory properties. It is also antibacterial and has wound healing effects as well. So you can have turmeric in your sabzis, or you can sprinkle it on your salads. You can have it with water. You can have it in tea. You can have it with milk, or you can add a whole turmeric into kadhas and have it every day. Next is mushrooms. Mushrooms contain some powerful compounds that enhance and balance our body's ability to fight any disease. And in short, it helps us to stay healthy. So if you are okay eating mushrooms, you can have them in salads or in bowl of soups, or you can toss them and eat it. So having mushrooms regularly might also help boost the immunity. Next slide, please. Drashti, can I have the next slide, please? Yeah, thank you. Then there are vitamins. Vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin E are called as antioxidant vitamins, which means that they will decrease the oxidation of cells in the body and boost immunity. First one is vitamin A. Vitamin A promotes mucin secretion, which is also an immune building cell. So vitamin A can be obtained from most of the dietary animal and plant sources both. Animal sources are, of course, fish, chicken, egg yolks, dairy products like milk, curd, buttermilk, paneer. And plant sources for vitamin A are dark green leafy vegetables and all the red, yellow, and orange colored fruits and vegetables. So your bell peppers, apples, oranges, all of them are going to have good amount of vitamin A. The next is vitamin C. Vitamin C helps in encouraging the production of white blood cells, which are the immune building cells, and which will therefore protect our body against any kind of infection. So vitamin C is basically found in citrus fruits like limes, oranges, lemons. Apart from citrus fruits, it is also obtained from green tomatoes or red bell peppers or cucumbers, cabbages. So make sure to include vitamin C in your diet on a regular basis, on an everyday basis. And then there is vitamin E. When our body is under oxidative stress, our immune system gets weaker, and vitamin E prevents this oxidation of cells since it is an antioxidant vitamin. So make sure to have vitamin E in the diet. Where will you source it from? Vitamin E is mostly found in vegetable oils like soybean oil, sunflower oil, groundnut oil, rice bran oil, all sorts of oils. Then dry fruits like walnuts, almonds, oil seeds like chia seeds, flax seeds. All of these are good vitamin E sources. Make sure that you include them in the diet. And proteins. Proteins are very important to build and repair body tissues and fight against any sort of viral or bacterial infection. And immune system powerhouses such as antibodies and immune system cells rely on protein sources for their wear and tear. So, protein sources can be vegetarian or non-vegetarian. Vegetarian sources are dals, pulses, sprouts. Animal-based vegetarian sources like milk, curd, paneer, buttermilk are also very high on proteins. And non-vegetarian sources, of course, include chicken, fish, meat, eggs. uh, they're very high on proteins. And the last one is probiotics. Probiotics can add back the helpful bacteria and also boost the level of immune cells in the system. So including probiotics in the diet will also boost the immunity. And probiotic components are found in curd, buttermilk, or fermented foods like uh, idlis or dhoklas or dosas. So make sure to include them as well in the diet. Next slide, please. So now let us play a game. On the screen, I will be showing up a statement. I'll read it out for you, and there'll be a poll running wherein you have to answer if the statement is a myth or a fact. Yeah, so let us begin. Can we have the first statement, please? So the first statement is calories eaten at night are more fattening than those eaten early in the day. You have to answer in the poll if whether it is a myth or a fact.
Participants, the poll is now open and will appear on the right side of your screen. You can select your answer and submit it. Abha, we've received 50 responses as of now. I'll wait for 30 more seconds for the remaining participants to respond.
Sure, Ragini.
I have closed the poll now. You should all be able to view the results.
Yes. So the statement was calories eaten at night are more fattening than those eaten early in the day. About 21 of you have said that it's a myth, and 32 of you have said that it's a fact. It is a myth. Yeah, our body takes about 1.5 hours to digest food, be it in the day or in the night. It is just that if you eat late at night and sleep immediately, you might face some indigestion, because of which you might end up gaining a few grams, but that is very superficial. There is no proven fact that calories eaten at night are more fattening than that of the day. So it is a myth. Can we go to the next screen? The second statement is you should eat fruits on an empty stomach for better absorption of nutrients. You have to answer in the poll if it is a myth or a fact.
Participants, you will see the poll on the right side of your screen. You can select your answer and submit it. Abha, we've received 58 responses as of now. I'll wait for 30 more seconds for the remaining participants to respond.
Okay, Ragini.
I've closed the poll now. You should all be able to view the results on your screen.
Yes, Ragini. So the statement was you should eat fruits on an empty stomach for better absorption of nutrients. About 35 of you have said that it's a myth, and 26 of you have said it's a fact. Well, yes, it is a fact. Nutrients are best absorbed when nutrients are best absorbed when the stomach pH is high. So it is always recommended that when you eat a fruit, you should be keeping an hour's gap before and after you eat it, so that you get all the benefits out of the fruit and it is the best absorbed. So yes, it is a fact. Now, can we have the last statement, please? Eating carrots will improve your eyesight. You have to answer in the poll if it is a myth or a fact.
Participants, you'll see the poll on the right side of your screen. Please select your answer and submit it. Abha, we've received 63 responses as of now. I'll wait for 30 more seconds for the remaining participants to respond.
Sure.
I've closed the poll now. You should all be able to view the results on your screen.
Yes. So the statement was eating carrots will improve your eyesight. About 16 of you have said that it's a myth, and 52 of you have said that it's a fact. Well, it is a myth. Carrot is a very good source of vitamin A, but it will make sure that it keeps your eyesight healthy and will not let it worsen or deteriorate further. There are no proven facts that it improves our eyesight. So eating carrots will improve our eyesight is a myth. So that is it from my end. If you have any questions, you can either drop messages on chats or you can raise your hand. I'll be really happy to answer all your questions.
Ragini, do we have any hands?
Yes. Mr. Avinash Kumar, you've been unmuted. Sir, you've been unmuted. Please go ahead.
God. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Actually, I have raised the hand for the previous session.
Okay. Do we have any questions on chats or any other raise of hands?
Abha, we have no other hand, but we have a question in chat. And the question is whether working in an air-conditioned environment will have any effect on immunity.
Working on in an air-conditioned environment won't have any effect as such on immunity unless you have a tendency of developing frequent cold or cough. Then that might hamper the immune system. But otherwise, no. Then no other problem.
Thank you so much, Abha. There's one more question which says, how many times should we eat in 24 hours?
Okay, so it completely depends on how your schedule is. You can also eat every 2 to 3 hours so that your metabolism paces up high. If you're not able to eat every 2 to 3 hours, then you can stick to eating just 4 times or 3 times a day. So there is no golden rule that you should be eating so and so many times in a day. It completely depends on what your schedule is and what your goal is. What are you trying to achieve in eating?
We do not have any more questions in the chat. Are there any hands, Ragini?
Yes. Mr. Aman Kumar, you've been unmuted. Please go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Madam, is there any side effect of drinking more water?
Okay. There's no side effect of drinking more water. You can drink up to 16 to 20 glasses in a day, and normally we don't tend to drink more than 20 glasses. So there is no side effect. It is just that you will have you might experience frequent urination, but no side effect on the health. The more water you drink, the better.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Abha, we have one more question. What are sources of vitamin D?
Vitamin
Vitamin D.
D. Okay, so I'd spoken about it in the slides as well. You get vitamin D1 from sunlight. It is the best source of vitamin D. Coming to food sources, they are limited. So you might find them in chicken, egg yolks, meat, fish, and in dairy products like milk, curd, or buttermilk.
Sure. There's one more question. What is a substitute to white sugar?
Okay, instead of white sugar, you can either use honey or black dates. You can make a paste out of date and use that. Or else you can also go and use brown sugar or stevia. Stevia is also a very good substitute to white sugar.
Okay, Mr. Amit Kumar, you've been unmuted. Please go ahead.
Good morning to all. I would like to hear the view from point on intermittent fasting.
On intermittent fasting, okay. Intermittent fasting, if done in a proper way, it is beneficial. It will help you control your blood sugar levels. It will help you control your food cravings and also your weight. But again, if you have your body has a tendency to develop acidity, I wouldn't recommend you fasting because that might just trigger And also, many a times what happens is, since you are fasting for that for a particular time, your feasting time, in the feasting time, you shouldn't be eating anything out of the world. So, eating junk or unhealthy or fried or high sugar foods, then that is going to have a negative impact on your health. So like I said, if eaten properly and if done properly, intermittent fasting is a very good option.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Abha, we have one more question on the chat. Is there any gap to be taken to drink water after meals?
Okay. Like I said earlier, also in one of the myth versus fact statements, nutrients are best absorbed when the stomach pH is high, because of which it is recommended that you don't drink water immediately before or after your meals. It will suppress the pH, that is, the acidity of the stomach will reduce. So that is why it is always said that keep at least half an hour's gap before your meals and 15 to 20 minutes post your meals to drink water.
Thank you for that, Abha. The last question is from Mr. Kumar. Mr. Kumar, you've been unmuted. Please go ahead.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Regarding the source of vitamin D, what about vegetarian who are not taking milk product?
Okay, so then for those, supplementation is the only option, because unfortunately, vitamin D is not. Vitamin D is not present in any food. The non-veg sources have certain amount of vitamin D because they are animals, right? They were animals at some point of time. That is why their bodies had synthesized vitamin D. So you get it in chicken or fish or meat or eggs or milk products. But there are no food sources that you eat this food and you're going to get vitamin D. So either sunlight is a good option for them, or else regular supplementation should be good.
So, thank you so much for that, Abha. Considering time, we are not going to be taking any further questions. So thank you so much for the session, Abha. I suppose it was very useful for all of us. And we will move on to the next session on mental well-being. So I would hand it over to you, Tanmay. Please take it on from here.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Rising Stars. I'm Tanmay Banerjee. I am a certified psychotherapist, and today I'll be presenting on behalf of Healthify Me. First off, I am quite honored to conduct this session on mental well-being, especially during this time of COVID-19. For a lot of us who are working from home, there is quite a bit of isolation that we deal with, or we know people who are dealing with isolation, and they might be our family members, or they might be our friends. This can also lead to some level of stress and anxiety. We are specifically going to be talking about these things today. Isolation can be quite overwhelming for a lot of people. If we really look into it about what isolation is, it's actually negative thinking. It can lead to depression. As with every other thing, over here, prevention is better than cure. So you will have to be sure about your preparation, about how you're going to tackle these negative thoughts. This will involve taking a pause, doing certain hobbies, trying to find out ways to spend time with the people you care about, your family, friends, and doing joint activities together. Can I have the next slide? It is important to stay focused and productive during these times. Some of the techniques that you can use are pranayama and meditation techniques. Both of these are available online today. It is about there are many techniques about focusing on breath as well as focusing on heartbeat. Any of them would work, honestly. Please make sure that there's some level of balance and focus to what you're doing. We are very much focusing on clarity over here so that you don't get back into your negative thoughts and hence become less stressed. May I have the next slide? So let's talk about priorities and short-term goals over here. Both of these are very good for tackling isolation as well as tackling depression, and they give quite a bit of sense of satisfaction. Either you can list out your priorities or use any other method, which might be checking about what you want to do at the start of the day and or what you want to do at the end of the day. But having a list of priorities and what you're planning to do is very important. A lot of studies show that during the first 4 hours of the day, we work best. Productivity starts declining after that. That's why I would suggest that most of your physical exercise and things that take quite a lot of willpower should be done at the start of the day. This can be yoga, cardio, strength training. This will also get you out of your mind and into your body. There's a lot of neurochemical basis to this as well. When we exercise, it does release endorphins, which make us feel better and which has a protective action towards depression as well as anxiety. If in case you find it difficult to prioritize, you can keep a minimum of 5 minutes per day. But I would really suggest you take more amount of time about doing the exercise and other activities which make you feel good. May I have the next slide? One of the things that worries most of the people about especially this COVID-19 times is about a family. It is not possible for all of us to be present physically with them. It may be possible for us to make video calls, phone calls, and for a lot of us, it involves making time on our priority list. I would suggest that you maintain a diary or anything on your calendar sheet about when you want to spend time with them. Perhaps another way to look at it would be to think about all of the beautiful memories that you have with the people you care about or with the places that you have been. Like everything else, over here we are talking about quality time. This does not mean that we just talk for the sake of talking with our family. It is about engagement. It is about being there for the other person and supporting them emotionally, as well as in any other way that they need. A key word over here would be care. May I have the next slide? Let's talk about introspection. What introspection really means is answering the WWH questions, which is what, why, how questions about what you're doing currently. This is useful in many ways. One, it gives you a lot of clarity about what you're doing. It has more applications than just mental health, of course. However, since I'm talking about mental health particularly, I would say that if you are inching towards thinking negative thoughts, one of the best ways to deal with it would be to really break down what you're doing, about what you're feeling, identifying your emotions, identifying what you want to do, that is your priorities, identifying your actions, that is what you are doing, and identifying your general mental state, which can be things like I'm feeling sad or I'm feeling 50% sad, but I'm 50% all right. I'm feeling 100% happy. I would probably suggest introspection is a great day-to-day activity as well. It helps us have clearer relationships as well as clearer goals. Can we move on to the next slide? Self-talk actually has quite a bad reputation. However, a lot of research suggests that self-talk is a great way to introspect. We can't change negative thoughts if we don't address them. And one of the ways that we can address them is by actively thinking about it. A lot of people suggest writing it down, which might be diary writing. Another way to actually look at it would be actually talking it out and voicing it. It is something that we generally do with our friends. It is something we do with our family and definitely with our counselors and therapists. I would suggest if you are experiencing negative thoughts or you're inching towards anxiety, it works really well. Maybe there's not as much matter to it when we talk about depression, but with anxiety, it works really well to have some level of self-talk so that you can break down what you're thinking about. Can we move on to the next slide? Sometimes it's actually not possible for us to feel well by just talking to a friend or trying to make things work our way. The best analogy that I can give you is if you're not able to make things work, or if you're not able to get yourself out of the negative thought loop, it might have very physical origins. It might be related to your parents, it might be related to your children, or it might be related to your work life. But one of the main things that you would have to focus over here is that your solution that you're trying to use may not be the best way to go about it, or your friends or family solution may not be the best way to go about it. Over here, talking to a professional might be the best solution as well as the fastest solution. There is some level of stigma to getting professional help, but from a work standpoint, getting professional help is the fastest as well as the easiest way to get over negative thoughts and to confirm whether your negative thoughts are leading to depression and anxiety and how to deal with them over a long period of time. Maybe have the next slide. Mental health is very much connected to physical health. A lot of therapists would suggest about how one can actually get out of their mind and into their body. It is pretty important for us to consider that people who are not physically fit are more prone to have mental disorders as well as mental difficulties. Another way to look at it would be if you are not physically fit, you may not feel equipped enough to deal with your mental difficulties. While we are not talking about going to the gym every day, a lot of physical fitness can be done at home. There is definitely the Indian tactics as well of doing yoga as well as working out at home and using your own body strength. One other way to look at it would be to do some household chores, which are also related to physical fitness and some level of activities. There are a lot of websites and a lot of videos, especially now on YouTube, that can help you achieve these things. As much as physical fitness is associated to exercise, physical fitness is also associated to how your body works. Over here, dehydration can lead to stress, which we know really well. And also eating healthy, which is having a balanced diet or having a diet which is recommended by professionals, is rather very important to go towards the positive direction and achieve what you're trying to achieve with as less obstacles as possible. Since we are talking about exercise as well as physical fitness and how diet works, over here the next area would be to discuss how sleep works. To a very high degree, mental health or any mental health tactic will not work if sleeping is not done right. There are definitely a lot of factors to how one can sleep properly and how one should sleep properly. Again, a lot of this is available online, as well as one can always reach out to professionals to actually ask about what would be the right way to sleep. And it's best to work over sleep habits early than it's late. All of this can actually be categorized into mental fitness. And I would suggest if you're creating a priority list, you put a good amount of time on your sleep, on giving time to yourself, as well as on eating and drinking enough water, which might mean reminding yourself about drinking water from time to time, or going off to sleep and turning off the lights and not focusing on your phones while going off to sleep. May I have the next slide? One of the biggest problems that we deal with workforce and that we deal with guilt about working is sitting for long hours in front of your desk or at your desk in front of the computer with your eyes locked in to your computer as well as your hands being in one position. This definitely, as we all know, leads to a lot of issues, both physically as well as mentally. It can cause draining, mental draining, wherein you might not have really good sleep after this. One of the ways that we can deal with it, while we cannot obviously erase all of the ills that comes with this kind of a lifestyle, one of the ways that we can manage it is by some level of activity after every few minutes. You can have a pause timer to do something like this. Obviously, some level of movement and blinking of your eyes and rotating your eyeballs so that there is some level of activity and blood flow over there. Moving your arms and legs during your break as well. Let's talk about posture, however. Posture is very important and a very complicated topic when we discuss about such a lifestyle. There is definitely a large checklist to go about when it comes to posture, but there's some simple ways that you can work with. One would be your eyes should be level with the top of your computer monitor. It should be easier with desktop PCs, but it's a little bit of a struggle with laptops where your keyboard and screen are fixed and close together. Your shoulders should be relaxed and low, not too high or hunched, and you should feel like you're not lifting your shoulders. Your lower arms should be parallel to the floor. They should rest on the support rather than being held up. Your feet should be flat on the floor, and just putting your toes on the floor isn't enough. Your upper body and your back should be straight, and your lower back has a natural curve that should be supported by your chair. There are a lot of things when it comes to your posture. Definitely, an expert's opinion would be a lot better than just doing the bare minimum. However, if getting to an expert is not possible, following a simple strategy like this would be enough. The part that a lot of psychologists deal with is lighting. Light definitely affects how we think about things as well as how focused we are with our work. If you're working on something that requires a lot of your attention, a white light or a yellow light is quite important. Definitely overdoing anything is not great. If natural light is available, then white light and yellow light shouldn't be used at all. Let's talk about how you should have your desk. Whatever you need immediately should be in front of your desk, and whatever you don't need, they should be abstracted and kept elsewhere so that you're focused on what you need to do. This might include your priority list as well. If you're not doing something that is related to idea making and idea generation, some level of well as oils, essential oils, definitely help to de-stress as well. You can decorate your desk, obviously. However, there should be some level of balance, and overdoing it probably wouldn't be suggestible. Since we already spoke about dehydration and its effects on the body as well as mental health, having a water bottle on your desk is pretty important, and you can definitely keep a timer for it. A lot of prevention of stress as well as negative thoughts, which eventually lead to anxiety as well as depression, is related to setting a right routine for yourself. This would also extend to how you work with your family, friends, as well as how much time are you dividing for your work and how much time are you dividing for yourself. Obviously, at this time of the crisis, this becomes a lot more important than ever before. So I would say that you should really focus on taking care of yourself as well as others who you care about, and ask for help if needed. There is some level of stigma about it, but definitely it works faster and better. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you all stay safe as well as achieve the best in life. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure conducting this session. Drishi, can we move on to the next part?
Thank you so much for the session, Tanmay. And we are now open to taking any questions. You may type them in the chat or raise your hand to get your lines unmuted for the same. Right. Looks like we do not have any questions as of now. In
All right.
case participants, you think of any questions later on and want them answered by Tanmay, please write to us on the InDRSP mailbox and we'll pass those questions on to Tanmay. For now, I think, thank you so much, Tanmay. The session was very useful and we'll bring an end to it. For all participants.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tanmay. For all participants, I would again request all of you to please download and register to the Healthify Me app. We will be sharing these slides with you that were presented in the first session today. And you have any queries, you may write to us to the InDRSP email ID or call on the Bank of Baroda help desk. 2 numbers were shared yesterday over WhatsApp. And you can use those to call anytime between Monday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. These are dedicated helpline numbers from Bank of Baroda, from Healthify Me, and they shall help you with the registration of the app process if you're facing any issues there. So thank you so much, everyone. We'll end the session here.